Hey, what's going on YouTube? Chuckles again with another Hearthstone video. Today we're going to be doing another episode of our deck highlights. I believe this is the 5th or 6th deck highlight. I'm going to be looking at the Warrior Control deck again. This one's a little different. I've changed quite a few cards in order to, I don't know, incorporate the Naxxramas cards for the Warrior. So let's go ahead and jump right into the curve. So it looks like we have 0/0 drops, 5/1 drops, 10 2-mana cost drops, 4 3 drops, 2 4 drops, 4 5 drops, 1 6 drop, and then 4 7 pluses. So let's go ahead and jump right into the cards and we'll take a look and see the strategy behind it. So 2 executes, destroy a damaged enemy minion. It's great for removal and it's got a very low mana cost. There should never be any warrior deck, aggro or control alike, that doesn't run at least one, but should probably run 2 executes. Next we roll with Shield Slam. Armor is very easily obtainable, especially in a warrior control deck with the armor smiths, your shield blocks, so on and so forth. So deal 1 damage to a minion for each armor you have. Very good card to have in your arsenal. Next I roll with 1 Whirlwind, only 1. Deal 1 damage to all minions. So you can use this to activate your Grommash. You can use this to boost your executes so you can clear some boards, whatever. I only roll with 1 though. Most run 2. I only run 1 because Death's Bite, and we'll get into that in a second. So next we have our first weapon, 2 mana for a 3/2 weapon, Fiery War Axe, also known as the Fiery Wind Axe, because on turn 2 this thing can be very devastating. Every warrior deck should be rolling with these as well. Next I roll only 1 Cleave, 1 Slam. So 1 Cleave, deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions, and then a Slam, deal 2 damage to a minion. If it survives, draw a card. So I use the Cleave against zoo decks or aggro decks. It'll hit 2 minions as opposed to 1. I suppose you could take 1 Cleave out and add in 2 Slams for the card draw, but with the Acolyte of Pain and so on and so forth, I haven't really had a whole lot of problems with card draw with this particular deck. Next, I go with 2 Armor Smiths. Whenever a friendly minion takes damage, gain 1 armor. 2 mana cost for a 1/4. It's great to combo it with your Cruel Taskmaster or even your Slam if you're holding on to that. But if you have 2 of these out and then you Whirlwind, and then if you possibly have an Acolyte of Pain out as well, you're talking you're going to get a lot of armor and you're going to draw some cards. Next, 2 Cruel Taskmasters. So 2 mana for a 2/2 Battlecry, deal 1 damage to a minion, give it +2 attack. You always want to try to save 1 for your Grommash, but you don't have to. I also use the 1 damage for board clear if they throw out a 2/1 or a 1/1 or sometimes even a 3/1 if you're talking the, Divine Crusader that has the Divine Shield 3/1 creature. You can get rid of the Divine Shield with your Fiery Wind Axe, and then next thing you know, boom, the Cruel Taskmaster wipes it off the board. Next we go with Unstable Ghoul. 2 mana for a 1/3 creature that has Taunt and Death Rattle. Deal 1 damage to all minions. So now we're up to 3 Whirlwind effects. I got 1 Whirlwind, 2 Unstable Ghouls, and then the Death's Bite. So next we go with Shield Block. 3 mana, you get 5 armor, and you draw cards. So it's great for card draw, and it's great for, basically it's a heal. You gain 5 health. Next you get 2 Acolytes of Pain going in there. So whenever this minion takes a damage, draw a card. 3 mana for a 1/3 creature. It's a staple in the warrior control deck. I don't think I would ever take this out. So Death's Bite is the new card. It's a common. You have to do the warrior class challenge in order to unlock it, but it's a weapon. 4 mana for a 4/2 weapon, and its Death Rattle is to deal 1 damage to all minions. So if you got 2 of these, 2 Unstable Ghouls, and a Whirlwind, now we have 5 Whirlwind effects, which is why I think it's quite alright if you only roll with 1 Whirlwind. 1 Faceless Manipulator. It's a 5-drop. Battlecry, choose a minion, become a copy of it. It's great if they throw out a huge minion. You could also substitute and put in a big game hunter for this case, but I like the Faceless Manipulator a little bit better. I just prefer to be able to either Faceless my own Ragnaros, Faceless my own Grommash, Faceless my own Karn, or Faceless Baron Geddon or something like that. Or if they throw out a legendary that's not in this deck, you can Faceless that too. So Loatheb, 5-drop, 5/5 creature, Battlecry, enemy spells cost 5 more next turn. So Loatheb. Loatheb has basically changed the meta all by himself. That card right there is so worth putting in every deck that you make, pretty much. The Battlecry is bar none one of the best battle cries you can get on a 5-mana creature, especially for a legendary. And then the 5/5 also helps out quite a bit. It can wreck people, so I highly suggest putting Loatheb in a lot of your decks. Next we go with Sludge Belcher. It's a 5-mana cost card. It's got Taunt. So 3/5, 3 attack, 5 health, Death Rattle, summon a 1/2 slime with Taunt. So you basically get a token card, you get 2 creatures for the cost of 1, both come with Taunt. It's just awesome. It works very, very well in the Warrior Control deck, especially with the new Naxxramas cards, which this happens to be one. Next, our first 6-drop and only 6-drop, we roll with Cairn Bloodhoof. Another token card, Death Rattle, summon another 4/5 Bane Bloodhoof. So 6 mana, you get a 2 4/5s, so worth it. Next, Baron Geddon. Baron Geddon is a very terrible legendary, but in a warrior deck, he is godlike. So at the end of your turn, you deal 2 damage to all other characters, with the exception of Baron. He's the only one. Geddon doesn't take any damage, so it's great for aggro decks. It's awesome for zoo decks. You can faceless this and then have two of them going off. They will hurt each other, so eventually you will lose them, but Baron Geddon is just amazing inside of a warrior deck. I've also been considering removing him and putting in the Black Knight, because a lot more decks are running with Sludge Belcher, but I kind of like the Baron Geddon. Next is the Grommash. Of course, 8 mana for a 4/9 creature, comes with charge, and when you enrage it, he gets +6 attack. So if you use your Whirlwind effect to activate the enrage, or if you use what I try and do is use a Cruel Taskmaster, and then he becomes a 12/8, and it's great for a 1-hit kill. You know, like if they have 12 health left, no taunters on board, they're done for on turn 10. Next, Ragnaros. Nothing needs to be said about Ragnaros. He's just awesome, especially in Warrior Control. He can attack, but at the end of the turn, he deals 8 damage to a random minion. He can be silenced, and then you'll still have an 8/8. It's just awesome. Alexstrasza, Battlecry, set a hero's remaining health to 15. 9 mana for an 8/8 dragon. I find this card to be very defensive and offensive. So you can use it to heal yourself if you happen to dip below 15, or you can use it that if you're playing up against a priest or a paladin or a druid that just continually keeps healing or something, you can drop it against them and take them from like 30 down to 15 with 1 card. It's just amazing. So that's the Naxxramas new Warrior Control deck. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, the main premise of this deck is to control the board. So you're going to want to get rid of as many creatures as your opponent possibly can, and then finish them off with things like Alexstrasza and Grommash. So it's all about controlling the board. So it is kind of pay to win. It is a very expensive deck. I think it's something like, if you were trying to craft it, I think it's something like 11,000 dust, which is quite a bit, but it's well worth it in the end. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next deck highlight. Have a good one.